2019 North Carolina's 9th Congressional District Special Election. A special election was held on September 10, 2019, to fill the vacancy in North Carolina's 9th Congressional District in the United States House of Representatives for the remainder of the 116th United States Congress. The seat had been vacant since the opening of the 116th Congress, following the refusal of the North Carolina State Board of Elections to certify the results of the November 2018 election in the district due to allegations of electoral fraud. Because of the allegations, the race received substantial national attention. In the original election, Mark Harris, a Republican, led Democrat Dan McCready by 905 votes in the unofficial returns for the 2018 North Carolina's 9th Congressional District election. However, allegations of fraud in the election prevented its certification. After hearing evidence, including testimony from Harris himself and his own son, the board unanimously voted on February 21 to call a new election. The primary was held on May 14, 2019, and the general election was held on September 10. A total of 10 Republican candidates qualified for the primary. Dan McCready, the Democratic Party nominee in the 2018 election, ran again and faced no primary opposition. Among Republicans, neither Harris nor Robert Pittenger, the incumbent whom Harris defeated in the 2018 primary election, filed to run. After winning the Republican primary by a large margin, Dan Bishop narrowly won the general election, garnering 57% of the vote to McCready's 48.7%. Background: the 2018 congressional district election ended with Republican Mark Harris leading Democrat Dan McCready by 905 votes, the closest race in the district in over 60 years. While McCready had conceded defeat, the North Carolina Democratic Party alleged that electoral fraud had taken place and filed affidavits with the North Carolina State Board of Elections alleging that independent contractors working on behalf of Harris had illegally collected absentee ballots, ballot harvesting. The North Carolina Board of Elections voted unanimously not to certify the election and later ordered an evidentiary hearing to be held. The board also opened an investigation around the activities of Leslie McCree Dallas, a campaign operative with felony fraud and perjury convictions, who was hired by the Harris campaign. Incoming Democratic Majority Leader Steny Hoyer announced that the United States House of Representatives would not seat Harris until the fraud investigation had been completed. After a delay caused by restructuring of the Board of Elections and delayed appointment of members by Republican allies of Harris, the board set hearings to begin on February 18, 2019. On that day, the regulator reported that it had found evidence of a coordinated, unlawful, and substantially resourced absentee ballot scheme that may have involved more than 1,000 ballots or ballot request forms. On February 20, Harris's son, John Harris, a federal prosecutor in North Carolina, testified to the election board that he had repeatedly warned his father not to hire Dallas because Dallas appeared to have previously engaged in illegal tactics to win votes. On February 21, Harris announced that the public's confidence in the 9th District seat general election has been undermined to an extent that a new election is warranted. The Board of Elections voted unanimously to call a special election, with a primary if necessary on May 14 to fill the vacancy. This was the first House of Representatives election to require a do-over since 1974. Leslie McCree Dallas was indicted and arrested on February 27, 2019. He faced felony charges of obstruction of justice, conspiracy to commit obstruction of justice, and possession of absentee ballots charges. In July 2019, the Wake County District Attorney also announced charges against Lisa Britt, Ginger S. Eason, Woody D. Hester, James Singletary, Jessica Dowless and Kelly Hendricks, and additional charges against Leslie McCree Dowless. Republican primary. Candidates. Nominee. Dan Bishop, attorney and state senator. Defeated in primary. Chris Anglin, attorney and candidate for North Carolina Supreme Court in 2018. Lee Brown, realtor, CEO and author. Kathy Day, realtor. Gary Dunn, perennial candidate. Matthew Ridenour, former Mecklenburg County Commissioner. Stevie Rivenbark, businesswoman. Stony Rushing, Union County Commissioner. Fern Schubert, former state senator and candidate for governor in 2004. Albert Lee Wiley Jr., perennial candidate. Withdrew. David Blackwelder, Wake Forest police officer and nominee for Wake County Board of Commissioners District 6 in 2018. Declined. Dean Arp, state representative, endorsed Dan Bishop. Dan Barry, chair of the Union County Republican Party and candidate for North Carolina's 9th Congressional District in 2012, endorsed Dan Bishop. William M. Brawley, former state representative, endorsed Dan Bishop. Danny Britt, state senator, endorsed Dan Bishop. Andy Doolin, former state representative. Mark Harris, pastor, nominee for North Carolina's 9th Congressional District in 2018, candidate for North Carolina's 9th Congressional District in 2016, and candidate for U.S. Senate in 2014, endorsed Stony Rushing. Nat Robertson, former mayor of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Pat McCrory, former governor of North Carolina. Robert Pittenger, former U.S. representative, endorsed Matthew Ridenour. Kenny Smith, former Charlotte City Councilman and nominee for mayor of Charlotte in 2017, endorsed Dan Bishop. Scott Stone, former state representative. Tommy Tucker, former state senator, endorsed Dan Bishop. Endorsements. Polling. Results. Democratic primary. Candidates. Declared. Dan McCready, former U.S. Marine, businessman and nominee for North Carolina's 9th Congressional District in 2018. Endorsements. Libertarian primary. Candidates. Declared. Jeff Scott, nominee for North Carolina's 9th Congressional District in 2018. Green primary. Candidates. Declared. Alan Smith, perennial candidate. General election. Dan McCready, the Democratic candidate, ran on a platform of cutting taxes on the middle class, ending gerrymandering, renegotiating trade deals, and reducing military interventions overseas. His platform also supports protecting Social Security and Medicare, overturning Citizens United, and granting full federal recognition to the Lumbee tribe. Republican candidate Dan Bishop is best known for his opposition to LGBT rights, particularly the drafting of North Carolina's bathroom bill. During the early voting period for this election, Hurricane Dorian battered the eastern coast of the United States, necessitating early voting to be halted in several counties on the Outer Banks and elsewhere on the coast until the storm had passed. Predictions. Endorsements. Polling. Fundraising. Results. County results.